It's my favorite part of the show, Money, Power, Politics. The Trump administration has announced a second round of aid for United States farmers and ranchers who have been hit hard by the president's trade war with China. The package includes $4.9 billion aimed to offset the losses caused by retaliatory tariffs, with 75% of the relief devoted solely to soybean growers. And some other farmers are saying, what about me? The president is now taking credit, tweeting yesterday in part, today I'm making good on my promise to defend our farmers and ranchers from unjustified trade retaliation by foreign nations. Our economy is stronger than ever. We stand with our farmers. Joining me now, President of Americans for Prosperity, Tim Phillips. The president creating this aid package and doing it again, is he putting out his own fire?
It's a mistake. This trade war has been from the start. It risks undermining the impact of the tax cuts and the regulatory reform, knocking down barriers that has been helpful in moving this economy forward over the last year and a half. It is a mistake. It does kind of clean up a mess created by the tariffs, about $20 billion, I think, in total now when these two rounds of payouts happen. It is good, though, that when the president met the Chinese premier down in Argentina, they agreed to roll back some of the coming tariffs. So we're hoping there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but this is a symptom of bad trade policy. But
you think there is a long-term solution, and that solution is not moving forward with the tariffs? Because this cash infusion, though the farmers need it, is only a short-term solution, and it's not for all types of farmers.
It's a short-term solution. It also it doesn't mitigate the long-term harm of market disruption. If people think, oh, the minute a tariff's over, you just pop right back in.
Nope.
Well, people who need your product, they move on, Stephanie, right? They move on to Brazil or other places that are competitors of ours. And so it's not like these payouts help the long-term disruption to the markets. But what happened in Argentina is a good thing to push back these tariffs. The trade with China has been a prosperity builder for this nation. It's a builder. Products are cheaper for American consumers. American businesses have had new markets. We've seen great disruptions with these trade wars that are happening. So we do hope they're on the downslide. What happened in Argentina is a good thing. But what you're seeing with these payouts, it's a symptom of a bad policy.
But here's what sticks out to me. It wasn't like farmers were doing A-OK before. And many have actually, farmers who are getting hit by this, have been supportive of the president. And I want to share, our colleague Vaughn Hilliard has been out on the road speaking to all different farmers. He did it this summer, speaking about the impact of tariffs. And I want you to listen to what a third-generation farmer in Iowa had to say.
Now, the president announced just 48 hours ago that $12 billion aid package.
Yes.
Are you supportive of that?
I'm not as supportive of it as I would be.
Why?
If we could, I would be more supportive if we could sign a NAFTA trade deal with Mexico today. That would be better news for me.
You don't want the government putting money into your account.
Farmers can do a better job of getting their profit from the market than relying on the government.
Now, this was obviously, as I said, in the summer before NAFTA 2.0. But if farmers don't want a handout, they want a long-term solution, what are they looking for?
They're looking for market stability. And they had it before these trade wars kicked in. Farmers over the last decade and a half have had some pretty darn good years when you look at the data. I think they would agree with that. They're looking for more market certainty. And trade wars, when you don't know if the tariff's going to be on in the next growing season or off, it disrupts that certainty you need. They have enormous fixed costs. That's the key thing to think about with farmers.
That's the opposite of Wall Street, where you can buy and sell in a moment.
They have capital investments, just putting the seed in the ground. It's expensive. I've been out in Wisconsin and Iowa, and I don't pretend to be a farm expert, but I have seen firsthand what they're facing. They're the most productive farmers in the world. They can compete, and they have competed in some pretty tough markets. They want that certainty, though. No one doubts, and they don't doubt the president genuinely wants to help this country with his trade policy. He does. No one doubts that. We just think it's a wrong thing to be doing, though. It's not the right policy approach. I think that's why they have been patient with the president in many ways. In fact, Republicans, when you look at the Iowa elections, they elected a Republican governor there. So they're being patient because I do think they know the president means well here. It's just not a good policy, and it is hurting them. There's no doubt about that.
Well, listen, we all want to do good things. The hard part is actually doing them.
Yeah.
Hey Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.